Welcome everybody to yet another episode of Yolking Around. I am Derek.
And I'm Diana. Here we are yet again coming at you with another episode.
Yes, we are. We're recording on a Sunday today.
Yes, which now feels weird because I think I've gotten used to recording on Saturdays.
Yeah, we've been trying to build a routine recording on Saturday mornings and trying to continue this podcast going, basically. Oh, shit, I almost strangled myself with the cable here.
Yikes.
Yeah. We've been trying to do that for the past weeks so that we can build some consistency because it's not easy.
No.
There's a lot of shit that gets in the way, you know. If they paid me to do this, it would be a lot different, but that's not the case.
Yeah, because your time would be spent, this would be your full-time job, not the one that you have on weekdays.
On top of the one that I have after work.
Plus, I started school, so my schedule might be a little crazy during the weekends as well.
Yeah. You had an event yesterday, no?
Yeah, I did. With my internship site, they celebrated their 50th anniversary, and there was a lot of events there. There was some luchadores. There was a lot of bands. There was a mariachi.
Lovely.
Free food. It was a great time. There was a car show too, and that was really cool. And I'm not a car fan. Like, I'm not someone who knows a lot about cars and lowriders and that type of stuff, but I actually enjoyed looking at them.
They had a good repertoire of cars, I bet.
Yeah.
People put a lot of investment in their cars, honestly. They put a lot of thought and money.
Yeah.
Hard work, really.
Yeah, that's what me and my friend were talking about as well. And I think the cars that drew my attention were the Impalas and also the
classic
the Chevrolets.
Yeah, classics.
Those are beauties.
Yeah, they are beauties, and the community. I don't even know, the Chicano community. I guess that lean towards the Impalas, lean towards the Chevys, and just the different types of cars, lowriders, and even the bikes. The
bikes were awesome,
even
too.
The bikes are very thought out and designed in a way that really represents the culture that they are coming from and expresses their artistic side, too, in a way.
Something else that I noticed was that, and I didn't realize this was a thing within the Chicano community, and I identify as a Chicana, but I realized that a lot of cars, the way that their design is made is in honor of a family member who's deceased.
Really?
Yeah, there was a lot of faces imprinted. I don't know how, like.
Yeah. I know what you mean.
Yeah.
It's amazing what they do with the artistry.
Yeah, it was crazy.
They use what are they called? Like airbrush
Cool.
type of guns to make those designs, and easier said than done, obviously.
Yeah.
I mean, these people are drawing full on murals or people on the hoods of their cars and whatnot.
Yeah, someone even had Jesus on the hood of their car. I'm like, what?
That's a blessed car right there.
Honestly,
bullets will go through that car.
I'll have to show you the picture. I don't think I posted it, or maybe I did, but it was really cool. Like, I was just staring at it. I'm like, how did they do this? Like, the patience it must take.
Yeah, and it's like, it's weird depending on the color, but it looks like it's caramelized into the. That's the best way to describe it. It's like caramelized into the hood. It's like a glossy, really cool look to it. I don't know.
Right.
I don't even know how to. That car can probably walk on water, dude. Ride on water.
Ride on water, dude. I just wonder how. Like, I don't know much about the imprinting of cars and the process of it.
Yeah.
Or I'm not even saying the terminology correctly, probably, but it's just I imagine it's similar to how in tattoos, like, a lot of people get face tattoos of other people. Yeah. And what I've seen, at least in face tattoos, either it's really bad or it's really well done. So I imagine it's kind of the same thing when it comes to cars.
Yeah. It's you gotta know a guy that knows how to do it, you know.
Yeah,
otherwise your car is gonna look like a meme.
Yeah,
like,
honestly.
It's like, is that supposed to be your grandmother? That looks like Shrek, dude.
Straight up. That'd be so tragic, just investing that much money in it being a shitty job.
Yeah, well, it was on September 17th, yesterday, Saturday. And September 16th is the Mexico Independence Day.
Yes. Viva Mexico.
Viva Mexico, yeah, actually.
We had a great weekend for the Mexicans, by the way.
Great weekend for the Mexicans. We saw the fight with Canelo and Triple G.
Yes.
Yesterday, and he ended up winning. I didn't know that the age difference was that radical.
Yeah, it was
Canelo is 32.
Yeah.
Triple G is 40 years old.
Yeah, straight up.
And it was a good fight, I thought.
I thought so too.
Canelo looks good in that weight division. I don't know which weight division he was in, but whatever weight he was on, he looked light,
right,
and fast. He was really fast.
He was so fast.
And he was still able to keep that power. But Triple G, being a wolf with old tricks, did a great second half of the rounds. Towards the end. Canelo came in hot, you know, and ready, and landed a couple good strikes on Triple G.
Yeah,
I remember. And then all of a sudden, Triple G was like, he was every round, every time the bell rung, and he went to his corner and he came out. He after, I would say, the 6th round, he started like picking it up.
Yeah,
because he was down on points, right?
Yeah.
And then the first, he looked better. And then the 7th, he looked better. And then the 8th, he was looking really good. And then Canelo kind of was like, what the fuck, you know, like. So he started throwing some more punches, and they kind of evened out. I think Triple G did a really good job the way he handled the fight, honestly. And a lot of respect, honestly.
Yeah, there was a lot of respect between them. I guess apparently there was some beef between them in the past. I'm not a big boxing fan. I enjoy watching when Canelo fights. And
the beef is always the need to promote the fight. So you want to sell, you want to make more money, you have to have some sort of beef going. And I think they've already gone twice, where one won and the other one,
right?
If I'm not mistaken. And then
I think you're right.
This was it, right? The ultimate fight, and thank God we were able to win it.
Yeah,
the Mexican. But great fighter, and a lot of respect in between the Kazakhstani and the Mexican.
Yes. Were you by chance listening to the commentator?
No, not really. I can't remember anything in specific.
They can be brutal. I remember one comment where, well, at least it like resonated with it, like made me feel like sorry for him. And they were just like getting on Triple G for being quote unquote old. They're like, yeah, Canelo, make him feel his age or some shit like that. Yeah. I'm like, is that fucking necessary? Apparently it is.
I mean, I bet you they wouldn't last a fucking round.
That's what I'm saying.
You know what I mean? So, I mean, it's their job. Yeah, it's their job. It's easier to talk shit from afar. And as a commentator or a analyst, you always have that option where that's basically your job, to talk shit in a way that it not only makes sense, but also professionally done, I guess.
Yeah.
And I mean, sometimes you can even tell that there's people that have preferences on sides, you know, with the commentators. If you pay close attention, I've definitely perceived things like, oh, you know, like they shit on one more than the other. And it's a thing in boxing, I guess. But I suppose. Great fight, honestly. Yeah. We saw some UFC fights right before it, and it's crazy how much they change boxing and UFC. UFC is just fucking insane.
I don't think I can handle watching UFC. Yesterday, what happened with
very crude,
with the gash in, I think Song was his name? Yeah. The gash next to his eyebrow, like basically you could basically see his skull, I want to say, almost. Yeah, no, and then the other guy, too. The guy right before, they call him the RoboCop or whatever. He fucking opened the top of his... I don't even know, this little like flap right here. Yeah, kind of? I don't even know what it's called, but this little flap right here was completely opened and super swollen, and it was bleeding the first fucking few rounds. It was so disgusting. So bad. It was so bad. And he continued fighting. Yeah. And I thought, what the fuck is this guy doing? Yeah. Like, this guy needs to throw in the towel. Why wouldn't you want to get that checked, you know? And the doctor, you know, kind of played it off. He's fine. He'll be fine, you know, kind of showing concern. But they want the show to continue going, you know? They don't want people to complain about a short show.
And they continue that fight. And then all of a sudden, this fool fucking beat him. beat the other guy. And I'm like, how?
Against all odds.
Yeah. I'm just like, how the fuck do you even have the mind or the power or the will to continue something like that? And then after the fight, super nice people, super nice. You know, I want to thank my family. I'm like, what the fuck is this? Like, you're literally a fucking killer. Like, how did you just, like, as soon as that last bell rings, they disconnect. They snap back into just like, I'm this nice Brazilian, you know, and I'm just like, what the fuck was that?
Yeah.
And then with the song one, it's another Korean that got super split open, and he was actually going against a fighter from Aurora, Colorado.
Yeah, I was going to mention that too.
Yeah. I can't remember who won on that one.
It was him, the guy from Aurora.
Oh,
I don't remember his name.
Well, shout out to him.
Yeah,
I can't remember his name, pasty guy, but
very pasty.
Fought very well and did his job.
Yeah, maybe he's lurking someone around here right now.
Yeah, maybe. But it's just crazy. I like watching UFC, but there's a point where it's just too crude and too raw where I'll stop watching the fight itself, you know, just because when you watch UFC, you see more knockouts, but you also see more broken legs, people fucking up their legs on live television.
Yeah.
And it has happened to the best. McGregor, it has happened to Sugar Shane O'Malley. You know, it has happened to a lot of people where they fracture something on live television and it looks gnarly. Like, it's just...
Yeah, it's shit that I can't handle. That's why I'd rather watch boxing over UFC. And also, something that I like about boxing is that because they're more limited, you have to be more technical. Yes. So I see the art in that.
Yeah, there's more technicality. There's technicality on both, whether we like it or not. There's a certain level of elegance, too, when it comes to boxing, at least I think.
Yeah.
Because it's a lot less crude, you know, when somebody gets beat up or split open. It can be bad, obviously, but it's not as bad as getting a knee to the fucking temple, you know? Like, it's very fucking different than that.
I have to fucking turn away from that.
Yeah, you see the fucking shot of the knee in the forehead, basically, and this guy, you're like, he's lights out.
Yeah.
And just continues fighting, you know? And then the one thing that I would criticize about boxing, though, is that a lot of the times is fighters don't go in and fight. You know, they play more defensive, or, you know, they use strategies like that kind of take away from the spectacle of what you want to watch, which is entertainment and watching two guys beating the fuck out of each other, you know. But yesterday was a great example of a good fight, I think, with Canelo and Triple G, because they actually went at it each round. Like, there was some action in each round, making it worth it, you know. And that's what we were expecting from both of them, you know. We were expecting a decent fight.
Yeah, they were very strong competitors, and I just love the level of respect afterward. Honestly, I feel like you said, apparently there's beef or whatever, but honestly, I don't think in real life they're actually like that. It's just for showmanship, you know.
Yeah,
it's just for the fucking show, which I think is dumb, but like I understand at the same time.
It's just business.
Yeah,
there's actually a lot of fighters that well, I know one at least in the UFC where same thing, you have to kind of hype up the fights, right? But this guy is very mellow. He's from Mexico, Brandon Moreno. Champion.
Oh, I know. Actually, I actually know who you're talking about.
He's a nice guy. Yeah, he's a sweet guy. You know, great fighter. Shout out to him, but he's just a nice guy.
He's like a teddy bear.
So he's like, yeah, you know, like try to keep the hype, but it just doesn't.
Like the nerd that wants to fucking tell his bullies off, but can't do it.
Exactly. Yeah. Except this guy can definitely and has
physically.
Yeah, physically spanked. But yeah, it's just there's just people that don't.
They don't have it in them.
They don't have it in them to be shit starters, I guess. But
very unproblematic.
Yeah, unlike fucking Conor McGregor that can talk shit all day long. Yeah, you know, and that's why he made a lot of money too, because he heated up the situations. More people become invested because of the whole entertainment and how crude it is at the end of the day, and people like it. People like it.
Give me that rawness.
Yeah, yeah. I can't do it.
No,
I can't do it. I have limitations. I have times where the boys on the group chat that we have, they'll send some shit like that. No, just like things of that nature where somebody like breaks a leg.
I see.
Or you know, just injuries of that type that are really nasty.
Yeah.
And as a soccer player, I can't watch somebody break their legs or
someone almost
knees,
fucking tried to break your ankle today at soccer.
Yeah. I didn't even feel it, but in the video
it looks brutal.
No,
but
yeah,
apparently it wasn't.
I mean, he didn't hurt me, thank God, but that fool slid. I wasn't even looking at him anymore, and he was bitching all game, and then he decided to go for my ankle, and they got him kicked out, red card.
Kicked his ass out.
Yeah. From the first half, too.
Yeah.
First half, I took a touch, and he couldn't keep up and stepped on my shoe. And fucking my shoe went flying. Yeah, same dude. Went flying literally in the first 3 minutes of the game, and I'm just like, what the fuck, dude? Like, I told him off. I'm like, dude, what the fuck?
What?
Yeah, he was like, what did I do? I'm like, dude, my shoe is off. What the fuck?
What do you mean, what did you do?
No, and the funny thing is, like, I took my shoe off, and the knot was intact. So he came off clean, right?
That's weird.
Right. And they were waiting for me to put on my shoe.
Yeah.
And I couldn't fucking undo the knot. And I even said it. Oh, and I even had a good knot on there. So they could fucking realize that, what the fuck? Why are you stepping on me?
Well,
dude?
why wouldn't he apologize? You know? Like, why would you be like, what? Like,
I'm like, dude, what the fuck?
Just say sorry. It's not that hard. Oh, sorry, man. Like, I'll be more careful.
Something like that, you know? I'll be more careful. And he was like, oh, come on, you got to play. I'm like, all right, let's play. Okay. And then he ended up getting a red card and kicked out.
Come a bitch.
It happens. I laughed.
Yeah.
People probably thought that I was going to like confront him, but I was just like, I'm not trying to get a yellow or a red. Like, excuse me. When I'm in the game, I'm in the game. Like, I'm trying to play the game to win it. So I'm not thinking about how to get a stupid card or how to
be petty.
Yeah, how to be petty or how to hurt somebody. Like, no, I'm thinking, how can I make a play or be of help to my teammates to score a goal. Yeah. Like, I really am all about the game. I love the physicality of it. He got mad actually because I fucking took him out.
Yeah. On
the second half, and that's what happened, and I'm okay with the physicality, but as long as he's clean.
Right.
Shoulder to shoulder, no pushing in the back, shit like that, shit that it ends up being cheap and shit.
Yeah. I mean, you're the definition of a team player, and you're very respectful toward other people, too.
I try to, man. I try to. And we had a newer referee, and they were just eating him alive, dude. They're so...
The poor refs, they always get shit
fucking
on
earn their
so
money, dude.
hard.
Anything Sunday League, refs, holy
Honestly,
fuck.
I just feel like they get paid to get abused at this point.
Yeah, it's just... I'm just here because of the money,
Yeah.
There is a way to maintain a good game, but you have to be committed and professional to the game itself, even as a ref. So you have to carry yourself and know the game in a way or to a level that you're confident enough with the calls that you're making.
Yeah.
And the other team has to, both teams have to see that,
of course.
So that they can earn that respect. Because I've played against teams that are difficult, and we've had a good ref. I've had good refs that let you play on, and they keep the fluidity of the game very good. Mm-hmm. Over here, if it's one problem after the other, there's no fluidity. You're always cutting the game. So then you're relying on set pieces where you're make sure that you cross the ball here. And it just becomes a different game like that when I'm used to more fluid games where it's just like a chess match. Where it's just like you have to pull a player so that I can have space to run there, and then we can pass it there. More technical like that, I guess. Not in that.
So essentially, what you're saying is that to be a referee, you have to be, or a good referee at least. There's a sweet spot.
It's hard to find that sweet spot. Yes.
Yeah.
Because you have to be fair, obviously, but you also have to be able to impose yourself in the field and to the players.
Assert some level of dominance.
Exactly. Yeah, you have to, because you control the game without being the figure or wanting to be the figure, because there's been a lot of refs, not here, but in more professional matches where they try to be the protagonist.
Oh wow.
And it's just weird, where
that's fucking weird.
The camera maintains most of its attention to in a ref, and the calls he's making and the way he's interacting with the professional soccer players, and I don't like that either.
No,
I don't like that either.
I mean, who wants to see that? Like, I'm sorry.
Yeah. and it has to be kind of like a watcher, just in the back, and as soon as something goes wrong, call it and be fair,
Yeah.
It's hard. It's not easy. It's not easy to be a ref. To be a good ref, I think that you have to have a pretty good understanding of the game regardless. So that
I feel like that should be the most basic thing.
Exactly. You have to understand.
Yeah.
You have to understand when somebody is going in for a foul, when somebody is intentionally trying to hurt somebody, things like that, things of that nature, because that's what it comes down to at the end of the game. There's the established rules which most players will tell you the rules. They understand the rules because they've seen soccer and they've watched it enough to have some sort of understanding of it. But when a ref doesn't know the rules and it's not calling, it's very difficult, because the rules, they're there kind of like a safety net, and then you're just kind of watching to see, okay, there it is, that's wrong, that's right, and that was intentional. You can keep the game going, and making those calls is not easy. Plus you have a lot of pressure from both ends.
Shout out to the good refs out there.
Shout out to the good refs out there, yeah. And shout out to the bad ones. Just get better. Don't just go and get a paycheck. Earn your money. And it's just what it is. The better you are as a ref, the easier it'll be for you to not get yelled at so much, because people will earn that respect.
Yeah.
But it's hard to do. Anyways,
should we move on?
Yeah. How about we go into some news?
Yeah, let's
So the first news that I have is actually from Australia.
Oh, interesting.
There was...
Does it involve some kangaroos or some shit?
Yes.
Wait, for real?
Actually,
I was just joking.
It does involve kangaroos.
Oh, Australia.
Oh, marsupials. They're like overpopulated over there, apparently, kangaroos.
That's
like
scary, because when you think about it, Australia is not that big. And they're trapped. It's an island.
Yeah. Who is? The humans or the kangaroos?
Fuck. Interesting philosophical question.
After this news, you will find out why I asked that.
All right, go ahead.
This last Tuesday, I was reading that 77-year-old man was found dead.
70?
77-year-old man was found dead in a rural area in southwest Australia.
Oh, shit.
And it was said that he had kept his male kangaroo, and they're called the Western Grey kangaroo.
Pause. His kangaroo?
Well, they assume or presume that he kept it in captivity.
Oh, okay.
As a mascot or some sort of thing, but it's not that you shouldn't be doing that. It's not allowed. Okay. Yeah, there's legislatures against that.
Okay.
You can't just bring in fauna from the wild and keep it because of these types of things. And apparently the kangaroo started hurting him and basically fucked him up.
Kangaroos are so strong.
They are. They're normally like 120 pounds, 5'4", so they're a small person basically with animal strength. And
that's a good way of describing it.
This was one of the most recent fatal attacks. They hadn't had one since 1936.
What? It's been almost a century?
Yeah. That they didn't have anybody get hurt like that by a kangaroo. But
what the fuck, man?
But apparently somebody... I don't know if he was still kind of like alive or something. He called the police.
Yeah.
And they showed up and they had to fuck up the kangaroo. They had to kill him because you wouldn't let him enter to help the guy.
Oh, what the fuck?
Yep.
Kangaroo got territorial.
Yeah.
Wow. I'm in shock.
Yeah. Well, you're not supposed to keep him
I mean, yeah, it's obviously not the kangaroo's fault, you know. It's the guy's. He kind of like, come on.
How are you gonna keep this fucking beast that is about your height? You know, he said fuck no, and then he messed him up and he killed him.
Do you know if it was in his house? Was it in like?
It was in his house.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you know if he lived alone?
I don't know if he lived alone, but it just said that it was just an older man in the middle of nowhere, basically in Australia or in a rural area.
Wow.
Better said.
So he called the cops, and by the time they got there, he was already dead, basically.
Basically.
Oh, that's rough.
Yeah.
Imagine getting pwned by a fucking kangaroo.
Yeah.
What a brutal death, to be honest. That's
dude, those
gotta be
back
so
legs
painful.
are intense. They have the strength.
They don't skip leg day.
No, they have enough strength on their tail. They can stand on their tail and use it as a kind of like a
support.
Like a support, yeah, like a third leg. Oh yeah, those fuckers will fuck you up with just the legs.
That's terrifying.
They also have claws that are huge.
Yeah,
they'll mess you up.
Oh man,
there's been videos of people protecting their pets. Of kangaroos.
Oh, what?
Yeah.
Really?
And they actually like box them out.
Oh shit.
Like fuck him up. There's videos out there in the internet.
Did you ever see that movie Kangaroo Jack?
Oh yeah. Oh, Kangaroo Jack was a great movie.
Yeah,
dude.
I remember we would watch those movies on Sundays when Blockbuster was still a thing.
Oh, dude, that is such a good Sunday movie to
right?
to watch with the family.
Honestly, I have no recollection of what happened, but I just
really
I was little.
I see.
Literally, the only thing I remember is that like he would fuck like something up, like he was a fighter or some shit, right?
To a certain extent.
Yeah.
It was more of it was very cartoonish
yes.
in a lot of ways, but it has the black guy from Blackish and he's really funny. I can't remember his name off the top of my head.
Yeah.
And then this other guy that's actually pretty funny himself too, and yeah, they go in a adventure over Australia and they end up getting their paths crossed with this kangaroo that ends up wearing one of the guy's jackets, and
yes,
they try to catch him, and it's just a fucking whole thing where the kangaroo is just basically outsmarting them.
Oh, okay.
Pretty
Maybe I need
funny.
to rewatch those movies.
Yeah.
It's just one, right? Or is
it's
there
just
more?
one, yeah. It's just one. Thank God. But honestly, I've been thinking about that movie and watching it because I think it's actually fucking funny.
Okay. Maybe we should watch it.
Yeah, maybe we should watch it right after this.
Yes. Also, the actor's name is Anthony Anderson.
Anthony Anderson.
Yeah.
Great actor.
Yeah, he's
great
cool.
actor, honestly.
He's so funny.
He's fucking hilarious. And he's honestly kept his hype very well, I think. He's been one of those actors that's been relevant. Not so much on the big screen, but on the silver screen, definitely at a television level, has maintained good ratings and has done really good things with the show Blackish.
I actually really love that show.
You know what? I've never seen. I've seen bits and pieces. I bet because they contextualize a lot of the African American struggles in culture. Just that's what I can perceive from the show.
They do a lot with the workplace as well, and like how race affects the workplace.
Well, you were showing me a show where it's just mainly a black cast.
Yeah, Abbott Elementary. They just won a few Emmys, actually.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, because the Emmys were not too long ago.
No, it was like a week ago max.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's a really good show. It's like a mockumentary.
Yeah, they have the Office kind of feel to it.
It stars Quinta Brunson. I think that's how you say her last name. And then the main person from Everybody Hates Chris, I think his name's Tyler James Williams. He's in that too.
Yeah. He reminds me of a young Will Smith. I don't know.
Like, he gives me that vibe.
Yeah, he gives me that kind of energy.
Yeah.
Not a bad thing at all.
No,
just
that's
kind
a
of
compliment.
like the way he I don't know if it's the character that he's playing or portraying, but he gives me a lot of that kind of energy where he's kind of like, I don't know, it's just suave in a way and funny.
Yeah.
Just funny and I don't know, he just makes you want to listen to what he's saying. I don't know.
I feel
as a character.
Yeah, actually,
I got that from him.
I've been enjoying watching him play a different character because I've think the only other thing I've seen him in is Everybody Hates Chris. That's one of my favorite shows, to be honest. I like that's very nostalgic for me, and my brothers would watch that.
Terry Crews is in there, no, too.
Yes, the legend. Yeah, it's a very good show.
I've seen a couple episodes, and they've always seemed very funny, honestly. I haven't seen them all, like start to finish, but the few that I've seen, I can definitely tell that it's a good show.
Yeah, it's one of the shows that I like the most that doesn't have a laugh track. And I don't know about you, but shows with laugh tracks, after a while, it annoys me. I still watch it, but it annoys me. Like right now I'm watching
How I Met Your Mother.
Yes, and the laugh tracks are a little much.
Yeah, they can be overdone.
Yeah.
And well, the weird thing about shows like I Met Your Mother is that they are kind of newer as well, so to have the laugh track constantly kind of like I don't know, it takes away from the show itself. And I feel like not just How I Met Your Mother, but a lot of comedic shows use that to reinforce the fact that you're supposed to be laughing at this, you know, when it's just like, well, it was too simple of a joke, you know, and they put the laugh track. I feel like it's a way of masquerading. I think I know what you're trying to say. Like masquerading the jokes, you know, or like a safety net that they use to make sure that the audience is receiving the comedy.
It's almost like reinforcing it. Like the laugh track comes on, maybe you have like a little chuckle, like without even, it's like it comes out naturally, and that makes you want to watch it more because you're like, oh, I'm laughing. I'm gonna keep watching it. Yeah. I don't know, maybe we're digging too deep to it, but I mean, I feel like it's true.
No, I'm sure it has some sort of psychological effect to a certain extent. If not, they wouldn't use it.
That's true.
You know what I mean? Because you can be watching a show and one can even say, well, it's because if you don't have any laugh track, it'll make it awkward. No. Because the show in itself, it's already running. Yeah. So you should be invested in what's going on. Like, it's television. It's a fucking show.
And if it's funny, you're going to laugh regardless.
You're going to fucking laugh. And you're listening to what they're saying.
Right.
You know, you're definitely listening to what they're saying. So there's no need to be doing it every time. 3 minutes, or I don't even know how often, but pretty often, I guess is what I'm trying to say. I mean, it also happens when you watch a show. I don't know if you've noticed this, but you watch a show so much that they have kind of like reoccurring themes when it comes to jokes. Like they'll use the same joke, but in a different situation with different context, but it's still the same joke.
Right.
And that can work, you know, because if you like a show, you might like it because of that joke or that style of joking.
It's almost like an inside type of humor.
Exactly. It makes it an inside, best way to describe it. It makes it an inside thing, which makes you part of like the watching community.
The community.
Exactly. Which is important as well.
But a negative to that is that if you're just a casual viewer, like maybe you just watch it when it's on TV, you're not going to understand all of the jokes.
That is true. That is very true. And also a negative is that sometimes it can be overdone.
True.
And I see that with shows like I Met Your Mother. It's just like, well, I've heard this joke 3-4 times already.
Yeah.
And it's very common. Yes. You know, it's just like very formulaic.
Yeah.
It's very formulaic, and that takes away
from
true. I guess.
Yeah, I think that's one of the reasons why that's one of the shows that's not bingeable for me. I can only take about 3 episodes in one sitting, and then I have to start watching something else.
It's a little too much.
Yeah.
It gets a little too much. Well, the drama too, it's a different type of drama. I think the drama is done very well. Like, it's subtextual, like very mellow. And
it's definitely slow burn.
Yeah, and they do a good job in that show when it comes to drama and handling the drama, which I feel like that's what keeps people hooked.
Yes.
And whether you like it or not, Neil Patrick Harris is a great actor.
Oh, yeah.
You know, he's a goof in the show.
Oh, he's a heavy misogynist as well.
Yeah, I mean, he's
a flawed character.
Yeah, he's a flawed character.
Which makes him lovable.
He had this line where he was trying to explain something in a certain amount of time.
Under a minute, yeah.
And are you fucking kidding me? To remember that much script?
I was impressed.
That fast?
Yeah.
That accurate? Easier said than done.
Yeah, because he was talking super fast. And you have to remember a storyline.
Exactly, yeah.
Fuck.
So that's the type of shit I think I'm like, okay, that took
Respect.
talent. Yeah, that took talent. That wasn't easy at all.
Yeah, I agree with that.
How about we go into another news?
I'm so down. Let's go.
Do you have anything?
I do have a piece of news that's pretty relevant right now, and I want to talk about it before a certain date comes up. Mm-hmm. So it might sound a little crazy when I start explaining this story, but there's a very specific reason why I'm telling the story. Okay, so there's this dude named Mike Lendl. Okay, and he's the CEO of MyPillow, and I don't think you had ever heard of it until I kind of told you about it.
Yeah.
His company isn't as relevant to the story, but basically last week on the 13th, I believe, of September, his phone got seized by the FBI.
Oh shit.
Because he's under his phone is being used as evidence for an ongoing investigation in the state of Colorado in regard to voter fraud, actually.
Oh, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Is he from Colorado?
He's from Minnesota, I want to say.
Oh, what the fuck?
Yeah, he's from Minnesota. So essentially, he is really good friends, I guess, with Donald Trump, and like he's buddies with him.
Okay.
And you know how all those claims of the 2020 election being rigged and like.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. He was basically on board with that, and not to make the story super long, but he's created a lot of conspiracy theories like feeding into that. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So, actually, interesting enough, he was running for this. He was considering running for the Minnesota governor position a while back. So this dude wanted to be in government. This is the type of person that wanted to be in government. But now in recent years, has become kind of like a mainstream persona in conservative circles.
Right. Yeah.
And he's even been booted from Twitter from like talking about.
Oh, he's one of those guys.
Yes.
Yeah, that has been shunned from platforms.
Yeah, even YouTube as well. Like some of his videos have been taken down.
Deplatformed completely.
Yeah.
Good. There's a lot of toxic people out there. No, I'm serious.
Yeah,
and, well, the bad thing about those people, sorry to interrupt.
No, go ahead.
Is that, and I was reading it because I was reading about Alex Jones this weekend.
Okay, cool.
And the whole thing that he's also been deplatformed. And the wrong thing about these people is that, they're like, well, freedom of speech, yes, but you're also incentivizing and you're also creating echo chambers of people that are believing things that are completely fucking insane. Yeah. Not all of it. Not all conspiracies are lies. I can
attest to that.
Attest to that. Yeah. There's things that are definitely shady. There's things that are definitely done under the water. Yeah. And we're no idiots. There's shit that is definitely going on in our government and people with higher power. But the problem is when it comes down to situations of this type of matters where they start saying fake news, they're relying on fake news and not doing enough investigation on what the fuck they're saying and creating these echo chambers of people that think they are in the right when it's completely false.
Yeah, they're just feeding into the cycle of
just
false
lazy
information.
People. Just read. Oh, don't just believe it. Okay, if you're gonna want to believe it,
do your
research. Test that out. You know, the fucked up thing nowadays is that you can research anything and on Google, and one way or another you can find that it's true.
Yeah.
It's just so much information out there that it's just hard to come to a conclusion. So that's why it's important to read the opposite ends too. Even if you don't like a side or even if you don't believe in something, it's good to read what they're trying to explain, I guess, right. to defend
their side of their argument.
Yeah, their side of their argument, because then you can read on the other end and then kind of synthesize that information and create your own opinion off of that, base your own opinion.
Yeah, it just creates a whole circle of foundation of your opinion of it.
Yeah, you're well-rounded. Yes. You're not just one side or the other. Exactly. You're a well-rounded individual. And if we had that more, it would be more balanced. There would be less fights. It's because people wanting to just hit like and share onto a fucking social media, starting bullshit, putting misinformation out there from both ends, because this happens on both ends. There's lazy on the right and lazy on the left. You know, so it's up to us, the people, the voters, to inform ourselves to see exactly what is wrong and what is right, and make a credible decision on that, and put people that appoint people to government that are representatives of that.
Okay, go off, King. No, but actually, that's important that you brought that up, because the midterm election is coming up in the state of Colorado. So register to vote, people, if you're not registered, if you can vote, of course.
And that's important, because a lot of people don't pay attention to state government, and it's very important, because at a state level you can make changes. So you can that's the beauty of the US and the Constitution within it, is that it gives sovereignty to each state to be able to make their own laws, follow their own laws to a certain extent, and just create our own living environment. So if you are involved in where your taxes are going, who is getting appointed, what they believe in, you will be happier as a person, because you are going to be living in the context of ruling that this person's going to set off. So it's important. Like, it's important at a state level to be involved with the government. To see who the fuck is your state representatives.
On that note, actually, even if your desired elected official comes into office, you need to keep up with them as well. Like, make sure they're doing their job.
Exactly.
And if they go up for re-election, call them out. Like, you said you were going to do this.
Exactly.
If you're not going to do it, you're not going to get my vote.
That's what happens to a lot of the times. You know, they're not held accountable.
Right.
That we just believe in what they said in the first place. We, like a Tesla, we let it free ride, you know, and then we crash. Like, what the fuck? I thought I was supposed to be safe. Like, no, you need to keep up. Make sure that you're keeping track of the people you elect.
Indeed.
Yeah, because that's how you create your living. And then those people get into the Senate. Those people get into the House of Representatives, where they can actually make changes, at least, because that's a vote either for or against the legislatures that they're trying to pass. The changes, the meaningful changes that they're trying to happen into our country. And that's important.
It's meaningful.
But sorry.
So My Pillow guy. That was an important tangent to address. Yes, the My Pillow guy. So this dude was basically saying, oh, like, I don't care what you say. Like, I have proof that the election was a fraud, this and that. He even said that ballots were casted by dead voters to Biden and being counted multiple times. Like, in August, he held a cyber symposium, and where he was threatening to release proof, quote unquote, like 37 terabytes of data showing election hacking.
Where they at?
I know, right?
Where they at?
Where they at, though? And
I'm not just trying to be a sarcastic asshole. I'm like, where they at? If there is 36 terabytes of data, the public needs to see that shit.
Right?
If there is.
Right.
We need to know if we're being lied to.
Yeah.
If you just say you haven't, but there's nothing preceding that, well, it's because if I put this information out there, then I'll get killed. Well, are you that much of a patriot then?
Yeah.
Are you willing to die for your country? Willing to die for your values? It's a tough one.
Yeah.
Not everybody can be a hero.
Facts.
But.
And then another actually conspiracy that he was saying, that hackers from China and other foreign countries broke into the elections office computer systems around the country to reduce the number of votes for Trump. So that just shows you the type of person he is, right? Do you feel like you have a good kind of background on him? Even it was just a little snippet.
Yeah.
But I feel like that contextual stuff was important for what I'm about to say right now. So on the 13th, his phone got seized by the FBI. Okay. As part of a federal investigation into an alleged breach of voting machines in Colorado.
Oh, fuck.
According to him, the agents questioned him about Tina Peters, the Mesa County, Colorado clerk who was indicted in March on charges that she helped an outsider copy sensitive data from the country's election systems in May 2021. You're at Mesa County.
Mesa County?
Yeah.
We know that's a red area, too.
Yeah.
Of course, they'd be fucking doing some shit like that, dude.
Yeah, they've been red for so many years. Yeah.
Disgusting.
So, according to the Washington Post, his interview with them, he said that he wasn't involved in the copying of Mesa County's elections, and that he didn't meet Tina Peters until she meted that cyber symposium that I was describing about, where he was like divulging the quote unquote facts, that the proof of the voter fraud. So get this. The Lindell just got a grand jury subpoena on the 7th.
Ooh.
Okay. And he said...
Grand jury.
Yes. The subpoena called for a testimony before a federal grand jury in Grand Junction, Colorado on November 3rd.
What the fuck?
Our hometown. Well, my hometown.
Yeah.
And where you lived for a long time.
Of course.
Isn't that trippy?
That's fuck, dude. Of course it would happen. Something like that would happen in fucking Grand Junction.
Some sketchy shit.
Yeah, fucking.
So there's another piece of this that I want to talk to you about. So Tina Peters, the county clerk, and 2 other Mesa County officials were previously indicted by a state grand jury on multiple felony and misdemeanor charges, including conspiracy to commit criminal impersonation. Prosecutors accused them of participating in a scheme to allow Conan Hayes, a former professional surfer who had reinvented himself as a data expert, to gain access to Mesa County election systems and copy sensitive files in May 2021.
Jeez.
So this My Pillow guy is in some shit right now because of his affiliation with this woman, essentially, and Trump.
Well, it's weird that he's even affiliated with this woman.
Right?
It's just fucking weird.
Yeah.
Like,
well,
you're just directly connected to the person that is in charge of the voting polls and whatnot. Well, maybe not in charge, but,
has some form of power. And
has some sort of power.
Influence. Well, when you think about it, Tina Peters is the one who first made the interaction because she went to that cyber-symposium that he organized. So that just shows you who's representing Mesa County.
Yeah. So don't be idiots. And if you're watching this, if you love your fucking state, Colorado, really go out there in the polls and vote for what is right.
Yeah.
And put a fucking cork on these people that say they know what is right for the country because of what is convenient to them and not convenient to the rest of them.
Right.
And I'm talking about white people primarily because it's become that type of environment where they want what's right for just the white community when it's not like that anymore. It's not just a white community. Your community is part of other ethnicities, other cultures. You have to fucking start molding yourself to that. You have to be open to do that. That's the only way we're gonna grow. That shit ain't gonna go away.
Yeah.
Like, we're not just gonna disappear Mexicans out of the face of the fucking earth. Yeah. You're not just gonna disappear. You're not gonna do that. So
we're only gonna grow stronger.
Exactly. Use that unity, and instead of looking at your other in a hateful way, saying those fuckers are this, those fuckers are that, dude, it's about your living situation. You want to be in a better living situation? Stop listening to these idiots telling you that they're taking over this, taking over that. That's all their fucking agenda has. Just one motive, separation, because they want to win with their numbers, and that's it.
Yeah, literally.
And that's just not the way to do it.
Yeah. One other thing I wanted to say was about voting.
It's not even logical.
Something that I feel passionate about is voting. Is that even if you vote for something that I don't agree with, please vote. Like, I honestly have more respect for people that vote against what I want than people who can vote and don't do it.
Yeah. Make it fair. Go out there and vote. And a lot of people think that they can't make changes. You can start at a local level.
Yeah.
Start changing your appointees at a state government level, and then everything is like a domino effect. It'll eventually get to the House,
precisely,
and then to the Senate and whatnot, and things will change.
There's
slowly.
Still hope, guys. There's still hope. But yeah, that was a crazy story, huh?
That is, yeah. How this guy ended up being in cahoots with this other person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Would you like to share a piece of your news?
Yeah, actually, we're gonna deviate from this politics. We might have to get in the next news that I have. But you've heard of the fundraiser being done for Piper Lewis?
Yes.
This she's 17 now in 2022. She was put in jail, I believe, in 2020. She was 15 years old because apparently she came from a troubled family. And her story is very sad because she came from a troubled family, was kind of out in the streets, and somebody...
I believe she ran away.
Ran away, yes. And somebody took her in with promises of helping her out and giving her a place to stay and a home. This guy that was like 37 years old.
Yeah, we don't even want to mention his name.
Yeah, I'm not even going to say his name. And ends up... prostituting her and her for various occasions until she snapped, she said, and ended up killing him, stabbed him 30 times or something like that. He got what he deserved. And now she's being prosecuted in 2022, trying to find out what kind of punishment they're gonna give her. And this all happened in Des Moines, Iowa. I actually used to get skincare products from Des Moines, Iowa. Funny story, but she's being sentenced right now, and they're thinking of giving her like a 5-year close observation.
I think she's gonna be put on probation.
Yeah. And also she has to pay like 115 restitutions to the family of the person she killed.
Fuck that. They should be paying her.
Yeah. And well, dude, the laws are fucked.
The laws are played against sexual assault victims.
Yeah. Well, that and women also of color. I don't understand, because you read the fucking articles and it's just like the judges she did not need to pay that, but I can't do anything because it's the Iowa law. So if you think about it, we have this template system, and I've seen it with Colorado laws as well, where somebody does something and they're kind of they're in a gray zone to put it that way, and they can't get away from punishment because it's the law.
Yeah.
So what the fuck is a judge there for? I excuse my ignorance if that's the case, but I always thought that the judge had some sort of influence onto what decision was made at the end of the day. When in reality, we're seeing in a lot of these heavier cases, the judge just appoints and assigns a fucking set of punishments that can't be waived.
No.
What the fuck? Like, what kind of influence or what kind of power does the judge have then? If you're just going to be doing that, and I might be speaking out of my ass here, pure ignorance, but I just don't get it. I just don't get why there's certain laws like paying $150,000 in restitution when
you're a rapist.
When there's that, you're a rapist. And the sad thing about this is that the prosecutors are not even looking at her as a victim.
Yeah.
They are defending a lot that because she killed him apparently when he was asleep, and they're trying to defend the person that was killed as he was a non-threat at the moment when he was killed.
Oh, that's some fucking bullshit, because there's still fucking emotional abuse going on.
100%. This person snapped.
Yeah.
This person snapped. So there definitely was.
Well, that was her way of that was her way of surviving.
Yeah.
I wouldn't even argue that she snapped. She just saw an opportunity for her freedom.
Yeah. Yeah.
Imagine being placed in that situation. I would do anything to get out of that situation.
No, I bet. Yeah. I bet. And she's young too. She's 17 years old, dude. Yeah. Like, what the fuck? Yeah,
they're not even looking at her like a girl, or even a human.
Exactly.
And there's no empathy there. And this isn't the first time that this type of thing has happened. This has happened to countless young women, especially women of color. We heard that case of Centoya Brown. And where she...
Isn't that kind of similar to what happened?
Yeah, so essentially what happened with her, she was sentenced in prison for life in prison, actually, for killing a man who paid to rape her when she was 16 years old, and she was a sex trafficking victim. And she was in jail for 16 years until she was 32. Half of her fucking
32?
life. Until she was granted clemency. Yes.
Oh my God,
she's 32.
God,
so she has spent half of her life in prison.
What the fuck?
So this guy fucked her beyond the grave. The system has fucked her. And also, I was reading about other similar cases. Apparently, a recent one is in Wisconsin. Her name is Crystal Kaiser. She's facing a life sentence for killing the man who forced her into sex trafficking. And after a state Supreme Court ruling in July, she was allowed to argue in the court her actions were a direct result, quote unquote, of being trafficked, a defense that she could see charges against her acquitted. So that's still very much up in the air of what can happen. But it makes me mad that there's no course for
sexual
assault victims.
Yeah, yes. Sexual assault victims. Sorry. Fuck. Well, with this one, there's something called affirmative defense, which in the state of Iowa basically that type of defense and that law, basically what it does is if you are being threatened, like if you're being threatened or find yourself in a situation where you could be at risk of dying, and you defend yourself, there is some sort of leeway for you to not be condemned as harshly. But they are saying, the prosecutors are saying that because she pleaded guilty to first-degree murder and manslaughter when she was 15, that she got rid of that opportunity to use affirmative defense. Yeah. So they're using technicalities. Man, this is why. So. This is why I would not be able to fucking be a lawyer.
Yeah, we were having that conversation.
I would not be able to be a lawyer just because I cannot handle using technicalities and loopholes and being shady to a certain extent to make sure that somebody has freedom and they do not deserve it.
Yeah. No, straight up. I'd rather be a legislator at that point because then I can make some actual change.
Yeah, it's fucking insane. It's insane to be in that position. Yeah. You know, when you know you're putting away an innocent person. How the fuck do you even sleep at night? One can say, well, it's their job, but it's fuck that, dude. I would not want to be a lawyer or anything like that.
Yeah, I mean, and even if she has the best lawyer in the world and she does end up getting that 5-year parole, to me that's not freedom because the slightest quote unquote fuck up can cause her a 20-year sentence, and I don't think that's fair.
And the reason I want people to know her name is because she has been very vocal to set the record straight, and that takes balls as honestly. A 17-year-old that has been abused. Yeah, if her story is put out there, then a lot of like you said, Centoya Brown. Stories like that need to be talked about because there's a lot of innocent women being put to jail just when they were trying to defend themselves, and that's bullshit.
Get themselves out of that situation.
And then the cool thing about things, there's some positives about it, is that one of her teachers started a GoFundMe account to see if they could help with the restitutions that she has to pay, because $150,000 for a 17-year-old, it's fucking a shit ton of money, dude. It's a house.
Well, and I believe they've surpassed the goal, right?
It's amazing what they did. So people have been showing a lot of support. People have been donating to this GoFundMe account, and I believe it was done by one of her former teachers.
Yeah, let me find her name. I already forgot. Leland Shipper, I believe.
Shout out to Leland Shipper for being there for her,
honestly,
and showing up. And now, I checked, she was like $350,000 up, right? So she was able to definitely have the money to pay that off, and have some leftover money. Now it's like a $400,000. Fuck, is it $400,000? Yeah, $400,000.
Good for her. Yeah, which it's that type of news that makes me happy, but sad at the same time, because obviously happy that she got the money that she needs for her liberty, essentially, or at least a piece of her liberty. Yeah. But it also makes me sad that we have to go to those lengths. You know, like the legislation is just not set up to support and just to be there for women who have experienced sexual abuse. Yeah. And it lets you know too. It lets you know. That's why I was being very critical of the judicial system. Yeah, rightfully so.
Yeah, because it's like we have these templates. We need to have some flexibility, at least in my opinion. We need to have some flexibility.
Or even just humanity.
Yes, you're right. Yeah. To see how the law can be treated correctly, not just have this set of laws that if you do this, then this is your punishment. End of story. Yeah. What the fuck is the point of having a jury?
It just doesn't work.
You're just creating a false sense of justice.
False sense of justice, yeah.
When you're still gonna point something negative to somebody that doesn't deserve it. Yeah. You know, and they've said that with the money that she has raised, she wants to put herself through school, which is awesome if she does, and that she wants to further her education and also help people that are or were on similar situations.
Oh, really? Yeah. That's actually interesting. She wants to take that route because that's what Centoya Brown ended up doing. She's now an advocate for criminal justice reform advocate.
There you go.
So that's like what you said, like these stories need to be heard and they need to be believed too. It's disgusting how many people still don't believe women. For example, there was this TikTok that was talking about this woman who was basically being pimped out and like she got into sex trafficking, like she got sex trafficked.
Yeah.
I believe she got drugged at a bar or something. She was talking to some dude, whatever. And I was looking at the comments, like TikTok comments can be so toxic, but all these all these men
it's like a small Twitter, honestly, to a certain extent.
Yeah, I mean, just all these men blaming her essentially, like, oh, she shouldn't have been drinking like with strangers and blah blah blah.
Yeah,
it's disgusting.
Yeah.
Honestly, I'm happy for Piper Lewis that she's getting at least some form of justice. No one like the bar's so low. The bar is so low.
Yeah, it's very sad, man. It's very sad that we have these types of situations, and she has already lost 2 years of her life with all this. This happened in 2020. Now she's 20. Now it's 2022. She's 17. She's already lost 2 years of her life with this bullshit, and it's heavy stuff too. It's not just something that. It's not just a misdemeanor or anything like that. It's it's heavy court shit. Yeah, and props for her.
Yeah, she's strong. She's
and
strong.
God bless her
girl.
for real.
Yeah.
Do you have any other news?
That was the main one that I wanted to get through.
Well, then we'll get into the last news of the day. For Ron DeSantis.
That was creative.
If you guys don't know who Ron DeSantis is, he's actually the governor of Florida, extremely Republican. Surprise. But he did something really fucking just disrespectful, I would say, to a lot of people, and just outright petty and kiddish, and it's just fucking dumb, really.
Yeah. Now that you said his name, I feel like it's kind of triggering a memory. So I think I might
bad
know.
Thoughts.
I think I might know what you're gonna say, but go ahead.
So this past week, there was about 50 people, 50 plus people that came in as immigrants from Venezuela, I think.
Okay.
And they arrived to Florida. They were captured, and Ron DeSantis decided to do something amazing in his eyes, apparently. So he used first of all, he used taxpayers' money to get these people in buses and get these people in planes to import them to the state of Michigan, or Massachusetts. And then he basically grabbed the people and put them on planes and sent them over to Massachusetts.
Weird. Okay.
For Massachusetts to deal with them.
Oh, what the fuck?
Yeah. So he sent them to that place, and then they had to open these army bases. The Massachusetts governor Charlie Baker, if I'm not mistaken, he put 125 National Guard soldiers into action so that they can help these people that are arriving. And they are now in a military base being taken care of. No, they're definitely being taken care of.
Okay.
Yeah, they're being taken care of. They're providing food. They're providing place of living. They're providing medical assistance as well. So they've actually acted in a positive way to help these people.
Okay.
And Florida is not the only state to do that, to have done this. There's been cases for Texas and Arizona where they grab immigrants, send them to blue states, and out of pettiness, let him handle
segregation. Actually,
exactly. That's exactly what it comes down to. So this fucking idiot, Ron DeSantis, decided it'll be really bright to grab all these immigrants and undocumented people and send them over. As a political statement, basically.
Wow, so he's using that to seem like he's a good person. Exactly. When really he doesn't even realize how fucked up that is.
Exactly, yeah. They're using immigrants as pawns in a fucking chessboard.
What the fuck?
And he did this last week, and now he might be in danger of some shit. I don't know if the law will do anything, because you know, we know how it is, but there could be like
the people will riot.
Well, there could be, he's been in there's been talks about like human trafficking being considered, because he's just put him on a plane and delivered him somewhere else. And basically Massachusetts was just like, what the fuck, dude? Like, okay, you're
like, we'll take care of them, obviously.
Yeah,
but like,
we'll take care
fuck?
of them because we're a positive community.
Yeah,
and we'll help them out.
We have humanity.
Yeah, we have humanity, but this is fucking ridiculous. And he's been looked down upon by the White House and a lot of officials.
God damn, he has too much. That's too much power to have to be able to do that type of thing.
Well, people don't do shit. People in Florida don't want to do shit. It's like I said, you are in a context and you want to live in that context. It's just, you're gonna let that shit happen.
Fuck.
You're gonna let your tax dollars being used so they can send people to Massachusetts and have them deal with it out of pettiness. Deal with
their so-called problem when really it's just people.
I might be mistaken, but I think Texas and Arizona have sent people to Washington as well.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, what the fuck?
Yeah. The way you're trying to express yourself is mere pettiness. It's just, I'm trying to be better than you by showing you up like this, when that's not the right way whatsoever. Like, just be better at how you run your fucking shit. Don't do things like that, you know, where you're sending people over like there's some sort of animal to another state and disrespect them like that. Disrespect the communities like that, especially in Florida.
Yeah, it's so fucking dehumanizing and very disturbing. And it's disturbing that I hadn't actually heard about that, actually.
Yeah, I was actually surprised you hadn't heard of it, but yeah, this happened this week.
Fuck Ron DeSantis.
Yeah. But
what is that, Italian?
I don't fucking know. I don't care. You can eat a dick, dude. Eat a dick.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Old fuck.
Yeah, he's not even old. He's not even that old. No, he's like maybe 4. You can look him up probably, so that I'm not saying the wrong age. But he looks 40 to me. 40, maybe 50, but
44.
44. There you go. He's young. Doing all this shit.
Oh my god. Oh, I just like saw this picture where it's a picture of Trump, but his face is Trump.
He was just having too much fucking time in there.
Yeah.
But yeah, that happened.
Yeah.
So
I'm curious, the Venezuelans who were transported, it's like, have they made any type of statement? Like, how do they feel about it? Like, I'm just very curious about them.
What I saw from the news was that once they were, because at first they arrived in a place where they didn't have space, you know, they barely have enough space to help them out.
Okay.
And then they decided to use this military base with kind of like a dorm room setup, because they were actually going to have a place to fucking sleep.
Well, you see, then that plays more into the ploy, like that you're saying, like a chess piece, because they're saying it was a positive experience.
Exactly. Yeah.
They're going to say it's a positive experience.
Yeah. So we're going to see. We're going to see how this plays out. Yeah, we're going to see how this plays out. I just wanted to bring it to your guys' attention, because it's something that's happening. Like, there's a lot of our community that is being disrespected and being treated as such, as if they had no rights.
Yeah. And
it's just insane, because Florida is one of those places where there is a lot of culture within it, whether they like it or not.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of Latinos as well.
Exactly. And sometimes there's even Latinos against Latinos, which is even fucking more insane.
That's more disturbing to me.
Yeah. It's
You're against your own people.
Ignorance. But how about we go to this section called What's Your Bop? Diana, to finalize this beautiful and yet political and kind of heated episode of Yolking Around, what is the bop of your week? What is the bop of the week for you?
My bop is actually one from your playlist that we were listening to yesterday. It's called I Want Your Attention by Moon Boots.
I Want Your Attention.
Featuring Fiora.
Yeah, it's kind of a very housey song. Yeah. You know, yeah, I like it.
Yeah, I had listened to it a while ago, I think, and then when you played it, I was like, this song sounds familiar, and then I was like, oh wait, I like this song. So
yeah,
now I'm gonna listen to it more.
Yeah, I have this playlist on Spotify called Trippy Skippy.
Yeah, it's actually pretty good.
And I literally, that playlist has songs of when I am either drunk or high, and that have been songs that have resonated with me. And there's a lot of, you know, cool things, dark things. Yeah. It's a trippy
good mix.
Trippy mix of songs.
Yes.
But the song that I have for the week is Every Breath You Take by The Police.
Oh, that was an unexpected one. So
yeah. It's an 80s song, the 80s version at least, because then Puff Daddy or P. Diddy decided to use the sample of that song to create another song.
I'll Be Missing You?
I'll Be Missing You.
I'm so fast.
Yeah. I'll Be Missing You. And he actually made that song to commemorate and remember Biggie Smalls.
P. Diddy did?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because they were homies.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, they were homies. So when they killed Biggie Smalls, he launched that song.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, too.
So
and he hit.
Is there a reason why that's the song you chose today? Not the P. Diddy one, but the Police song?
No, I like I just like the beat. I like the message, and I hear it all the time, and it's a great song. It's a great classic.
I agree.
I decided to change it this time. I'm like, I'll hit him up with an old school but goodie.
Yes.
You know, and there was another one that I had in mind. I couldn't remember. It has saxophone, but it's just one of those songs where as soon as it plays, you can't stop dancing.
Careless Whisper?
I can't remember. Good guess. Okay. Good guess.
I love that song.
Yeah, no, it's a good song. Good guess, but it's not that one. Okay. It was more upbeat.
Okay.
But who doesn't like 80s ballads, dude?
True. And if you do, red flag.
Bring back the 80s vibes.
The romanticism.
The romantic. Yeah. I feel like white people were more romantic back in the day. You guys need to bring that energy
Step
back.
that game up again.
Yeah. No, I'm serious. They used to create really great ballads, and Caucasian music was actually kind of popping in the 80s. I'm not going to lie. And that's okay. Like, that's cool.
Funky music, white boy.
Thank you so much for joining us today. If you guys watch this, give it a thumbs up, like, subscribe, share it.
Yes, please.
Watch it in the comfort of your own home and with the AirPods, so that your parents don't get mad at you
if it's hella loud.
But anything else you have?
I guess just a reminder to register to vote.
Register to vote. You know, I wish I could vote. I can't vote.
I vote for you.
You vote for the both of us.
Yeah.
With that being said, thank you so much.
Thanks.
Stay weird. See you next time.
Bye.